Hi there, Cancer, and welcome back to Star-Lord Tarot. This is your tarot forecast for the month of March 2020. I went ahead, shuffled the cards, laid them all out, see what's going on for Cancer. First up, we have Major Arcana, the Tower in the upright, followed then by the Queen of Cups in the upright. And next we have Major Arcana, the Magician reversed, followed then by the Ace of Swords in the reverse. Next, we have Major Arcana, the Lovers in the upright, followed then by the King of Swords upright. Next, we have Major Arcana, the World in the upright, followed then by Major Arcana, Temperance upright. Then we have Major Arcana, the Hierophant in the reverse. And your last two cards are the Five of Swords rooted down by the Eight of Swords in reverse. So I'm going to go ahead and interpret the read for you. First of all, Cancer, for your overall energy, you have that of Major Arcana, the Tower in the reverse position. So you've got quite a few Major Arcana here. Could be a little bit of intense times going on in the month of March for you. The Tower in reverse points to perhaps sidestepping what could have been a disastrous situation. Maybe you dealt with something in February or towards the end of February that could have been not a good move for you, and you managed to avoid it. That's kind of the way it is, right? With the Tower in the upright, can be where something unforeseen comes in, boom, out of the blue. Shocking news is released and just sort of throws us for a loop. Could be having to deal with something unexpected that we didn't see coming, that kind of thing. It could be a situation we innocently got ourselves involved in, and now, you know, the shit hit the fan kind of thing. When the card is inverted, this is where we could have been involved in a situation like that. But something happened, we managed to sidestep it. We just said no to that person who was trying to get us involved in something that could have gone down in a bad way. We managed to sidestep what could have been a disastrous situation. We caught that whatever it is, the car problem that could have been a big problem, we caught it just in time. It's that kind of thing. Or we said no to that trip and found out that, woo, phew, I'm glad I didn't go. It's that kind of energy. Now, what's crossing through you throughout the month of March, it's going to be waning in and out throughout the whole month. We have the energies of the Queen of Cups in the upright position. It is a court card, could be representing a person who's important this month for you. And Cancer, which is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female. But this is your own energy, and this could be you just coming up strong in your reading this month and just very much trying to stay on track and true to who you are. The Queen of Cups is someone who has a lot of compassion, understanding, caring towards others, and exhibits those qualities. Also, it could be that you could be trying to remain emotionally balanced and emotionally strong and mature throughout an incident. Perhaps there's something that did go down and you're just trying to keep your equilibrium, or you could be the one keeping things going. Perhaps this Tower moment affected somebody else or people around you, and you're the one that, you know, the person that they're coming towards, and you're the person who's, you know, they're leaning on, and you're showing them great compassion and caring and understanding. So that's interesting, but you're coming up solid in your own reading. You're on solid footing emotionally, which is good. Now, this is the past, something that could have taken place a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago. We do have Major Arcana, the Magician, in the reverse position. This is where we were trying to manifest something, trying to bring it about, trying to, you know, sort of force it into play. But this is where our confidence is down and our confidence is lagging. When that happens, it's very hard to manifest something. So it could have been you've been trying to manifest something on a relationship front, or it could be at a work front, with finances, with family, with home. Whatever the situation was, you were trying to push it. That's the thing with the Magician in reverse. He can't get the magic going because he's just, his confidence is bashed and he's down a bit. So that can happen for several reasons. Sometimes when we're not feeling well, our confidence is not up. when something has happened around us that sort of, bruised our confidence, we can just sort of lose it a little bit, and we have a lot of trouble manifesting when we're in that sort of energy. So that could have been something you were dealing with, Cancer, at some point a few weeks ago or a few months ago. Coming out of the month of February, moving into March, we do see the Ace of Swords here in the reverse position. The Ace of Swords in the upright is new beginnings in communication. Communication is flowing. It's the sword of victory, new thought process, so forth. When the card is inverted like this can point to perhaps not able to change our thought process, especially with the Magician in reverse here. This could be for some of you, perhaps you were trying to do something, but maybe you were trying to do it in the wrong way, in the old way of doing things. You can't change your thought process, could be looping. Others of you, this could represent a cutoff in communication. Perhaps you were trying to, maybe that's what you were trying to manifest, the communication, open up lines of communication with someone, and you were unable to do it. So yeah, there was just some stuck energy. Remember, keep in mind, Mercury is still retrograde in the early part of March. So it could be cutoff in communication or difficulty communicating, period, with someone or a group of people. Now that energy gives way in the early part of March to Major Arcana, the Lovers in the upright position. This is a Gemini card. Some of you could be dealing with a Gemini. But this is about partnership. This is about making a choice or a decision. This is, we can always choose to love, choose not to love. We can choose to take a relationship to the next phase. We can choose not to. We always have free will. So the choice is here, it's yours. Can also indicate in business partnerships. Perhaps somebody is putting forth that ultimatum to you, like, do you want to do this? Let's go into business together. Let's get this thing done. So you have to make a choice or a decision there. For others of you, this could be about choosing between two different people in your life. If you're single and dating a couple different people, maybe it's time to make that choice, make that decision. And around the middle of the month, we do see the King of Swords here in the upright position. Definitely some of you are dealing with Gemini. This is a court card, could be representing a person. This is air energy, that of Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female. Now you could be dealing with an air sign. The King of Swords at least is coming up in the upright position. This person is willing to speak, willing to come forward, but the King of Swords is only interested in the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They do not want to the King of Swords does not mince their words. So if this person you're dealing with, this person is going to be mental, cerebral, logical in their conversation with you. So just be prepared for that. As a water sign, sometimes it can be hard to deal with, that sort of, because we can perceive it more as cold. The person is being cold. So if you're trying to have a conversation with someone, that could be the case. For others of you, this could represent someone in the legal profession, a lawyer, an arbitrator, a judge, a police officer that you could be dealing with. If that's the case, this person could be speaking on your behalf and, again, speaking up and telling the truth. Now, this is you internally, how you could be feeling, not necessarily the face you show to the world. We do have Major Arcana, the World, here in the upright position. This represents a completion of a cycle. Could be a long-standing cycle in your life. This could be a long-standing cycle of, say, being single, and now you're married, and this is a whole new, aspect of life for you. You could have been childless, and now you're starting a family. This is a whole new cycle for you. For others of you, you could be thinking of retiring, and this is putting an end to a long-standing career, or it could be putting an end to a long-standing family home that we've had for years and years, and now it's time to downsize. It's that kind of energy. I call it my graduation card. Maybe some of you are actually graduating this month in some aspect. Whatever it is, there's a completion. There's something coming full circle, and you're sort of feeling that on the internal front. But remember, you're in your own energy here, which is emotional maturity. You're able to handle it and deal with it in a very compassionate way. Now, in your people environment, we do see the Temperance card, the Sagittarius card in the upright position. Perhaps there's the Saggy in your environment. If not, the Temperance just represents fairness, equality, balance. It could be in your environment, whether it's your work environment, your family, or your home environment. This is where people are on the same page and they're working together in order to make everything come out right. I call it my baker's card. Some of you could be dealing with baking this month. If that's the case, it's going to turn out fabulous. This could even represent having people come together in a social setting. Perhaps some of you are doing something very social. This is having a gathering or something like that. This is where people who you wouldn't even think would get along together could just all come together and blend and mix really well. So that's a good card to have in your environment. And your hopes and fears position, we have Major Arcana, the Hierophant, in the reverse position. Well, the Hierophant in the upright position points to contracts and commitments and so forth. And when the card is inverted, especially in the hopes and fears position, this could indicate some of you are fearing losing a contract. You could be, maybe some of you are working in a term contract or something like that. You're fearful of losing that. Maybe the contract's coming up and you don't know if it's going to be renewed. For some of you, it could be that you're fearful of losing a commitment in terms of a relationship, a committed relationship. Perhaps you're fearing losing that commitment. Others of you could just be basically, fearing losing something that's that's conventional in your life, maybe losing the conventional aspect of your life. And the last two cards you have here are the Five of Swords reversed, rooted down, the Eight of Swords reversed. So this is the last cards that conclude the read and the month for you. Five of Swords in reverse is where the internal battle, if some of you, like in the upright position, this can point to an internal battle, can also represent a battle with others, where we're at odds with other people. This is known as the Empty Victory card. It can represent just a lot of conflict and so forth. When the card is inverted, the conflict is now over. So it's come to an end, whether it's an internal conflict or a conflict with others. So it looks like there's a conclusion coming towards the end of the month for you. And then the Eight of Swords in the reverse indicates you're being released from these obsessive thoughts that have been maybe tormenting you. There could have been a lot of thoughts going around and around, or you could have felt trapped in a situation. But there seems to be a release. Whether it's inner conflict and you release yourself, or if there was a conflict with others, and it's now resolved, and therefore you now feel relief and released at the very end of the month. Interesting reading. You'll have to definitely leave a comment in the comment section below. Well, that is your reading, Cancer. I hope it helped you. If it did, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.